What's up guys? This is SinWithVengeance, and a couple weeks ago I made a Twitter poll about asking if you guys were interested in seeing a video about what I eat every day to kind of maintain what I look like right now. If you guys don't know, I'm a pretty avid gym goer. I go about every day, 7 days a week, and I know with everything going on right now with the coronavirus too, and I do hope everyone is staying safe. But I also wanted to make sure that not only with this situation going on, but going out into the future once everything is, clear to go, that you guys can take this, things that we're trying to do here and implementing what I do every single day to eat healthy into our daily lives and make it more of a routine and more of a habit. So I'm going to go through everything that I eat every single day on a general basis. It's not something that is concrete. It's not some things that I eat every single day, but it's a general idea. So without further ado, let's get started. All right. So I know if the lighting's not the best, I'm in my dining room area / kitchen right now. But this is my breakfast every single day, or in most cases about 5 days a week. In general, you want to follow by eating at least 90% of your meals a good quality meal. But this is what I eat usually about every day. So if you want to zoom in on this here, I have what is called Kodiak cakes. They're come in multiple different flavors, like dark chocolate, for example, or strawberry chocolate chip, or peanut butter, for example, or they come in with this one's called pumpkin flex. Not necessarily my favorite flavor, but it is still a pretty good tasting one. And with that, you can have a good protein waffle mix with some sugar-free syrup. I try to do the sugar-free. It's not calorie dense, only 10 calories, and it's sugar-free. I mean, if you guys are looking to cut out sugar, that is my biggest thing in any diet, is to cut out sugar. And I usually eat about 6 of these every single day, 6 eggs. But then again, check to make sure that you are checking your calories. You may not need to eat 6 eggs a day. You may only need to eat 3 or 4, or even with these Kodiak cakes, I take the recommended serving size is half a cup, and I could probably go for 2 servings of that and still be fine. With this too, I also usually have bananas. Bananas are a good way to keep potassium levels, and it's got fibrous carbohydrates. It's got good fiber. It's it's got the good carbs that we need, and every sugar that we have that's absorbed into these fruits is also taken out by the fiber. Now, me being a little bit, I don't know if I want to call it cheating or anything like that, but I do have this natural peanut butter here, and I usually add that to my waffles because I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is really good. It's one of my favorite things in the whole wide world. I usually buy this brand here. That you can try and do the PB2. I know that's a pretty popular thing to go around. And finally, here for my breakfast, I usually have a cup of coffee. You can buy any K-cup you want, really, depending on what your coffee flavor is. I usually drink it black. Black is usually the way to go if you want to have a nice, healthy, good start to your morning. Don't add sugar creamers. That's not what we're looking for. We're trying to eliminate as much sugar as possible. If sugar can be avoided at all costs, we need to do that. So let's go on to the next step on our lunch. All right, guys. So with our lunch here, it's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. If you look down here, usually I like to what is called a burrito bowl for lunch. I skip the wrap simply because it has too many carbs. Not that carbohydrates are bad, but the more you limit them, the better off you are. So what we have here, and this varies from day to day, from every meal, but I do have it's in my hand. It's a chuck roast, but you can use chicken, pork, beef, any sort of meat. If you're a vegan, I get it. You could try and go with tofu or any sort of other vegan option. If burritos aren't your thing, try and also look for a higher protein source. The more protein you get in your diet, I would say the better. Right here we have black beans, and I usually get the black beans because they are, they are a pretty dense carbohydrate, but they do have a lot of fiber in them. I always say that one thing that people need to start doing is having a lot more fiber to help keep themselves regulated in their body as well. Another thing that I also like to implement is obviously rice. This is another carbohydrate dense food, but it's one of those complex carbs, so it gives you that energy over time, not necessarily something that's refined like sugars. Like I said, the lower the sugar, the better. And with that, I also have an apple. Now, this is a pretty carb-heavy lunch, I will admit, but it helps us get through the day and being able to, like if you're at work or something like that, and you need a little pick-me-up, well, you can have more energy throughout the day without going to the snack bar. So having these complex carbs and fibrous carbohydrates will help out with that. And then to have an extra protein source, I usually take a protein bar, or in this case, a protein cookie with my lunch. And so that will help me get that extra protein source. Now, your preferential thing of protein bars can vary depending on if you wanted to have, I recommend things like Quest. This is a good one. It's funny enough, it's called SinFit. I really like their cookies, and they have really good, they have a really good brand. So I highly recommend those. Quest, anything that's lower in, has higher, at least 20 grams of protein in the bar or cookie or protein source for the quick fix for a protein. Anything over 20 grams in one serving will do you just fine. Obviously, if it's anything lower, like 15, it's still okay, but just make sure that you're getting enough protein in that diet, so you can, because protein itself can help you boost your metabolism, because it takes a longer time to digest. So you want that protein in your body to help with everything, like your energy. It takes a lot longer to metabolize. So with that, I'm going to show you guys what I have as my third meal and some of my pre-workout supplements in there as well. All right, finally guys, my third / post-workout meal I have here, and some of the other things that I eat too on my time here. So we're gonna start with the pre-workout method here. This is yohimbine. It's a beta receptor to help turn alpha receptors into beta receptors, so that way you can burn fat a little bit faster here. This is Ghost Pump. I just bought this recently for the first time, but I'm one of those guys who works out at night right before I go to bed. So I don't need that extra caffeine, otherwise I'm gonna be up till 3 or 4 in the morning. So having this is a good way. It's just a pump. It helps with obviously getting that extra pump and the extra thing that you need to get those extra reps in at the gym. I also take collagen, which is a great supplement it's a great protein supplement and great for vitamin C and biotin. It can help with things like blood vessels, skin, hair, all that good stuff. It's a very good supplement to take. Now for post-workout, now this one's a little bit different based off of your protein preference. I prefer a whey protein isolate like this one right here. This one comes in many different flavors. I just happen to have the Nutella flavored one at this time, but obviously protein powder comes in many shapes and sizes. Make sure you check the label for isolate, because it is 90% protein and it is the most protein dense that you can get. Obviously, as I discussed earlier about the protein bars, any preferred protein bar you can get your hands on will always be sufficient. I don't need to go any further that anymore here. And finally here, this is something that I eat every now and then, just as on my days off work maybe. I'll have a bowl of oats, or every now and then. Oatmeal's good, very high in carbs. If you're starting out your day just right, you can get a good serving of oats in your meals here. It is somewhat protein dense. If you eat a full cup, I usually eat a full cup of oats in my bowl, and that does have about 10 grams of protein in it, but on the downside, it has a lot of carbs in it. It's 54 carbs in a full cup of serving, but it's a lot of complex carbs that you're eating. So another things I would like to recommend too are things like for vegetables, eating asparagus, eating Brussels sprouts, eating sweet potatoes, eating more lean meats. Now I know not everybody has the budget for all this, that I just displayed out in front of you all the time, but there are different options out there for you. Maybe look at your local retail. I know it's a little bit of a difficult time for everybody right now as far as how much supplies you can get, but it's not going to last forever, hopefully. And I'm very optimistic for the future as far as this being. It's going to take a while for us to recover, but we can bounce back from this. But make sure that you use your resources. Look at the labels. Try and eat healthy. I know it sometimes may not be the easiest thing to do, especially when people get those cravings, but it's very important to eat good. It's not easy to cut out sugar or anything like that, so I definitely understand. I may not know everything about the fitness industry. I may not know everything. I'm not going to claim I know everything either, but what I found works for me, and what I've worked on with people that I've worked out with closely, this stuff it works. It helps me manage my food trackers. Use stuff like MyFitnessPal and other apps that help you keep your calories in check. Now, there is a calorie calculator that you can use online. They're all over the place. Use your resources and be able to see how much you're actually supposed to be eating per day and manage your exercise. I wear a Fitbit every single day. It helps me track my sleep, my heart rate, all that good stuff. So making sure that you have all those resources available to you. And if you don't have those resources right away, try and do the best you can. So this is all I have for right now. If you guys want to see more content where I kind of just talk about stuff like this or anything else, and if I missed up anything, if I said something wrong, I'm open to criticism like always. So feel free to comment down below what works for you, and maybe I can learn something myself from this and see if I can try it myself and see if that works for me too, because I'm always looking for new ways to improve my lifestyle as well. I'm not perfect, so I try to work towards being better. So I hope everybody stays healthy. Wash your hands. Try not to touch your face. I know I touched my face like 5 seconds ago, but if it itches, scratch it. But make sure you wash your hands, wash your face, and just overall be a healthier person. And I want to help change the world in that. And if I could reach one person, and maybe they can reach somebody else too. So until then, leave a like on this video, share it with your friends, and until then,